Yes. Hello, Lagos. Good afternoon. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. So we've had to perform special magic to be able to bring today's show to you. I'm currently on Skype. I'm also on the phone now. So here's hoping that there's no echo and there's no callback or anything of the sort. But hey, it's good to be here. The reason I'm working from home is because Lagos is blocked. If you are stuck in your car right now, I would have been in that same fate if I had not decided to receive sense and just stay at home and work from home, because young Nigerians have been warning us all weekend that, we will protest, we will lock down the city. And that's what happened today all over the country. And we're going to talk about that on today's Hard Facts. First hard fact of the day, terrible news from Obalende. A building collapsed in Obalende. And so far, we've heard that 7 people have died and at least 10 more are hurt. The building was on Odo Street in Obalende. The Lasema DG Olufemi Oke Osayinchelu says that first responders are on site and that they're working. And we're going to bring you updates and all the information we have about that particular story. The second hard fact of the day I'm bringing you is that we're going to have a great show. So if you are in your car at the Lekki Ikoyi toll or the Lekki Link Bridge, you know that there's no movement for anybody, right? We also have the elections that happened over the weekend. So that's part of the story that we're going to be sharing with you today, right? So we've got Rotimi Akeredolu, who won his re-election over the weekend. On most other days of the year, that would have been the biggest story in Nigeria. But today and over the weekend, there's no bigger story than the SARS protest. And that's what I'm talking about on today's big weekend. Let's talk about police cracking down on protesters in Abuja. If you're watching us on Facebook, you'll be able to see footage that will show you eventually from the protests in Abuja and from here in Lagos. I'm going to be talking to one of the protesters who witnessed all of it. Let's also talk about the announcement by the Inspector General of Police that SARS has not been disbanded and its officers that SARS has been disbanded. Not been. So we'll talk about the announcement by the Inspector General that SARS has been disbanded. President Buhari also released a statement today, a video statement on Twitter at least, and we're going to be playing you the audio of that particular statement. We also have the protesters saying that this is not good enough, and that's why they're continuing to protest. And then we're going to talk about the ongoing protests here in Lagos and in other cities. On Checkpoint, Chukwudi will talk about the protests some more. He's going to be joined by Amara Mwagba. And on the big hard fact, we'll talk some more about SARS. I'm expecting to have the Minister for Youth and Sport to talk about the shootings in Ogbomosho. Protesters were shot dead by police officers. And I also have 2 public policy experts with me to talk about the demands of the protesters for police reform. How feasible is police reform? What are the challenges? What is the path to lasting police reform in Nigeria? So like I said, 2 public policy experts will be with me from 5, and then we can talk about it. Of course, you have news updates coming your way at the top of the hour. You need to listen to every minute so that you can play just a minute. But let's get started, Chukwudi, with the big weekend.
This is the Big Three. The Big Three on Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Will his order to disband SARS be carried out, unlike previous times? Will the protesters disperse now that the president has spoken? Who will be held accountable for police violence against peaceful protesters? Lagos, it was a big weekend. Let's talk about it. Our entire big weekend is about the SARS protests. I told you on Friday that it was the biggest story in the world. Well, it's Monday, and it's still the biggest story. A lot happened over the weekend. So we had protests every day in some parts of the country for the last 5 days. The last time I spoke to you about these protests, even then things were already getting rough. Abuja. They got rougher. If you're watching on Facebook, you're seeing footage from Saturday and Sunday about the things that the protesters in Abuja had to deal with. The police first used tear gas against protesters and shot in the air. By yesterday, the police were also using water cannons on them, hot water in some cases. We've also seen reports directly from protesters about police officers beating them up. Some protesters have shown up with broken hands, cracked skulls, swollen faces, and destroyed phones. All they say happening at the hands of the police. That's Abuja. In Oyo State, we actually had people die as a result of these protests. We actually had loss of life. First, there was Jimoh Isiaq, a bystander, who was killed by police stray bullets. Now, the president has said that his death will be investigated. The president said other things as well, and we're going to get to that in a bit. Jimoh is not the only person who lost his life. More people appear to have been shot dead in the palace of the Song of Obomosho. I'll be talking with Sunday Dare, the youth and sports minister, about that later on during the Big Hard Fact. Hopefully he still is able to join us. We have two different stories about what happened there. Some say that a group of thugs invaded the palace and police and soldiers repelled them. Others say that these were ordinary protesters and they came to ask the king why he hadn't commented on Jimoh Isiaq's death. So I'll be talking to as many people as I can about what exactly happened there. Now, while all of this was going on Sunday, the IG was announcing the end of SARS. Mohammed Adamu, he said SARS was gone with immediate effect. So what happens to SARS personnel? Well, they're going to be redeployed to other police formations. Now, a lot of the protesters have said that that doesn't work. They're not thrilled about that particular part of disbanding SARS. They say that redeploying the violent officers in SARS to other units hasn't solved the problem, since they'll just continue to be violent in those units. And I want to know what you think about that. When you give us a call, you tell us what you think about that. But let me tell you what else Mohammed Adamu ordered. He said police will set up two bodies to improve relations with citizens. First, an investigation team to look into police brutality accusations. It's a non-police team with people from civil society and human rights groups. Second, he announced a citizens and stakeholders forum to consult with the police regularly. And the IG also announced something else. The police will set up a new mechanism to take over the anti-robbery role from SARS. Now, already, the protesters are saying that this sounds like bringing back SARS through the back door in another name. They're also saying that this is not the first time the IG has talked about dissolving SARS or taking measures to curb police brutality. So you get the impression that among the protesters and their supporters, there's a lot of mistrust, right? They're basically saying, we don't hear all these things before from IG. But have they heard it from the president? Well, now they have, because President Buhari has finally addressed Nigerians today. Let me play you what he had to say.
Use this opportunity to say a word on the recent genuine concerns and agitations by Nigerians about the excessive use of force and, in some cases, extrajudicial killings and wrongful conduct by men of the Nigerian police force. The disbanding of SARS is only the first step in our commitment to extensive police reform in order to ensure that the primary duty of the police and other law enforcement agencies remains the protection of lives and livelihoods of our people. We will also ensure that all those responsible for misconduct or wrongful acts are brought to justice. We also deeply regret the loss of life of the young man in Oyo State during the recent demonstrations. I have directed that the circumstances of his death should be thoroughly investigated. Meanwhile, it is important to recognize that the vast majority of men and women of the police force are hardworking and diligent in performing their duties. The few bad eggs should not be allowed to tarnish the image and reputation of the force.
So you heard from the president. First, he acknowledged that the protesters' grievances are legitimate and that they have a right to be protesting. Second, he said the disbanding of SARS is just the first step. He didn't spell out what the other steps were going to be, but these are the questions that we're going to be asking the administration in the coming days. Third, the president said that all officers who have acted wrongly will be brought to book. By the way, this is one of the things that the protesters have been asking for. They say that it's not enough to disband SARS. Offenders must be punished. And finally, the president said that Jimoh Ishiak's killing will be investigated. So now let's talk, Lagos. What do you think about what the president had to say? Are you satisfied with the points he made? He said disbanding SARS is only the first step. What other steps do you think should be taken? What do you think about the way police handled the protests in Oyo and Abuja? We have dead bodies in Ogbomoso. We have people who got tear gas and water cannoned in Abuja for protesting peacefully. And what do you think about the IG's announcement? Like I said, this is not the first time that he has announced an end to SARS, but they keep coming back. Do you think it will be different this time? Do you think it will be more of the same? And of course, tell me what you think about the protests here in Lagos and how it's affecting you. 0700-993-993, 993. 0700-993-993, 993. Let's see who the first person is that we can. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Sandra Ezekwesili.
Good afternoon to you. Is that MI from Makoka?
Yes, it's MI from Makoka, Sandra.
MI, welcome to the show.
Well done. You see, when you meet the council of elders, you can give them all the food you have, but until you bring Kolana, you have not spoken. You have not brought anything because he who bring cola bring life. And your IG gave us 5-point agenda. We gave you 5-point agenda. Did you address it? Do you understand? It's not every dance that makes it to the Palace Square now. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Okay, while he was talking, somebody was killed at Sulere. Do you understand? While IGP was talking, people were killed in Ogbomoso. While IGP was talking, people were assaulted. Do you understand? So when you say you don't trust, evidence is there now. We don't hate the government. Just the evidence. See the people we are trying to reform. Look at what they are doing. They are saying few bad eggs. Can a pilot have a bad egg? He's saying that, we don't know if this plane will land because the pilot has a bad egg. We don't know whether you land or you crash. We are not sure. They are paying you to kill us. Is it good? Do you understand? The lizard we refused to kill yesterday has now become a crocodile. So it's not a matter of, no, you don't want it because he talks. No. We need action, not, we have been here before. Makadeo Mama, Makadeo Mama.
Thanks for calling us. Am I from Makoka? Oh, sorry about that. Call back if you can. 99.3.
Hello, good afternoon.
Turn your radio off. Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
Yeah, this is calling from Odobolu.
Eze, what do you think about what the president has to say?
You see, we want to know the action of government because they have not told us the truth.
Okay.
They are still petting us so that we'll go and relax. Then they will be doing what they are doing. So let the president come out openly and tell us SARS have been stopped. No other than stop. Then we believe them. They're telling us that we should not worry that they are going to look into. No. We can't accept that again because they have pushed us to the wall. We have been telling them since all these days that when they push Nigeria to the wall, they are going to react. And this is the start now. More is still coming, and they should not run away because It's because of the money they are eating that doing all that. Nobody complain to them. But why killing innocent people that don't cause anything for them? We didn't ask them for anything. We only ask them to leave us and that we can go free on the street and do our business as we normally do, but they will not allow us. So they should come out openly and tell us that they are sorry. They have left Nigeria to work freely and do their business the way we normally do. We are not a violent people. Nigeria is not a violent people. We are a peaceful, loving people. Check our history. They are just provoking us. That is what we are in now.
Your call has been placed on hold. Please wait.
Thank you.
Your call has been placed on hold. Please wait.
Sorry about that. Call back if you can.
Hello?
Okay. Let's move on to the next
Hello?
question. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Thanks for calling us. Hello? Okay. 99.3. Hello?
Hello?
Thanks for calling. What's your name, sir?
My name is Hassan, and how are you doing? How is the afternoon?
What's your name?
My name is Hassan.
Hassan. Thanks for calling us.
Yeah, afternoon. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How's the traffic affected you today?
Yeah, I'm in the traffic, and what I'm trying to say is that in Nigeria, we need to just take the way forward, because if we want to scrap and eliminate such a sect in the police force, we have to think of the other way otherwise, because even these criminals are out there, and they can do and undo as well.
Mm-hmm.
But the bad guys need to be selected as well. I just want people to
but that's why the president and the IG have said that they'll create another unit.
But it's happening as the protest is ongoing, is also happening, and I want people to be concerned, because the likes of this are also the likes of Boko Haram and what is happening in the Middle Belt and what's happening in also other parts of the northern part of Nigeria. As I'm speaking to you in my place, nobody is living in my places now. I'm from the northeast of Nigeria, and nobody is talking about that. But we all thank God and we'll pray for peace. But if they don't want peace, we see it the other way around in Nigeria. That's how it goes. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Hassan, for calling. We appreciate it. We've got messages on Facebook. Ugochukwu Benjamin says, since those criminals in uniform slapped my guy and I saw blood come out from his ears last month, I decided to invest all my energy in protesting. At least it's worth dying for. Ajise Alexis says, this no be democracy at all. If we cannot speak our opinion, then we are under military rule. Saki Anu Mustafa Bari says, good afternoon to you, and Nigerians should pray not to have the new format of SARS to be worse than the one disbanded. We've got Olalekon Isaac, who says, some just died. Police, they come, they send, they come. Confusion everywhere. They leave sorrow, tears, and blood. Their regular trademark. Olalekon, thank you for sending your message in. We're trying to get in touch with Ndikato. Ndikato was one of the protesters in Abuja, but unfortunately, that call isn't connecting. So we're going to take a quick break, get her on the phone, and continue conversation. If you just tune into the show, you're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, working from traffic because everywhere in Lagos is locked down. But keep the calls coming in, 0700-993-993-993.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three on Hard Facts.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Win cash! You stand a chance to win 50,000 Naira every week on the Just a Minute Game Show. Just call in to any of our shows, The Morning Crossfire, What's Up Lagos, The Sunnyside, and Hard Facts. Answer as many questions as possible within 60 seconds, and we will be giving out 50,000 Naira every week. Winners will be announced on Hard Facts with Sandra Ezekwesili. Just a Minute. The game show for everyone on your number one station for talk, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
So what these people are saying is, as long as it's not their office they are blocking, they are fine with it.
All right. So
Because
with
Andy just protected
on
himself.
the line, you're still listening to Hard Facts on Nigeria Info 99.3. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. On the big weekend today, we're talking about SARS. That was the biggest story from the weekend. And I'm joined by one of the SARS protesters in Abuja. Lindsay, what made you join the protest?
I mean, it's common sense. You know, I've lived in Abuja all my life. I wouldn't say I'm specifically a victim, but there are people who have been victims. There are people who work for me who, you know that they have been exposed to this. You hear the stories. In fact, there are times when I'm going home in Abuja around Life Camp roundabout, they won't stop me, but a car with young men inside will be stopped. And you just know that those young men are in trouble. And these are things that we pass and we have normalized. Heck, we have friends who come into the country and ask us, why are so many people armed on your streets? Is there a war? Abuja is the nation's capital. Why are police overarmed? Why is the first thought in disagreements calling people who are armed to come and harass people? It's just a certain level of, human rights violations that one cannot take anymore. And this speaks to a bigger issue, that the Nigerian system is not working. Right now, we have people saying youth are jobless. That's why they're on the streets. And I just want to point out that, you know what? They're right. It's not an insult. Young people do not have jobs. ASU is on strike for how long? The economy is tanking. And every avenue that young people have used to get themselves employed, the government has attacked. So yes, we're not employed. We're out here. It's not an insult. It's reality. Young people are fighting for a better country. And anybody who has common sense should be here.
We get lots of reports, right? And a lot of reports we got, both in the press and on social media, about the conduct of the police during the Abuja protest wasn't very positive. Could you tell us what you saw or what you experienced?
Well, I was here on the second day, and I remember on the second day when we got here, for me, I would point it again that the response to this protest shows that the IG of police does not have a hand on his officers. And what is happening today is very embarrassing. He has locked himself in his office, protected himself in his office. There are all kinds of bands, soldiers, all kinds of armed uniform personnel protecting the IG and locking him up there. And then we are all out here. Nobody cares. Nobody is making any trouble as long as the ruling class is protected from this protest. Now, the day that we went to the IG's office, we had assurance from all channels that nothing was going to happen. They kept saying nothing was going to happen. Apparently, they were just waiting for sunset. And as the first sign of sunset, people had met with the IG a day before. Sandra Ezekwesili had met with the IG in the company of Aisha Yesufu and Maureen Abri. And the IG expressed shock that he was not aware that his men behaved unruly the day before and said that they were not allowed to do that. And then you have a CSP give an order for them to throw tear gas, use those water cannons on people and shoot live ammunition on people, and they did. What does that tell you? That, look, Nigeria has gone beyond the point where one person at the center can control 300,000 armed people. It's not possible. Right now, the reforms we are asking for police is you need to break this system up into manageable systems. If you take away SARS, it won't work. Yesterday, I was talking to someone in government, and he said the IG is working on thin ice, that, his AIGs and the rest could turn against him. What kind of system is that? So at this point, it seems that we are even here protesting for the IG's life and every other person. It's such a shock to see. What we are asking now is, look, there is a white paper that was supposed to be implemented since last year. It's sitting right there in the NHRC's office. This white paper was worked on by the NHRC, Office of the IG and Office of the Attorney General. Since last year, because it mentions state policing, they have sat on it and refused to act on it. Everything in that white paper is what we are demanding. And inside that white paper advocates for the breaking up of the Nigerian police force into state forces. That is what we need. Every single policeman should be sent to where he comes from. There is no reason that a man who is policing my area does not know me. There's absolutely no reason. If you've come from Abeokuta, go and be a policeman there. Go to your local government and be a policeman there. So that if you abuse human rights, they know the home where you grew up.
All right. And the IG has announced a ban and disbandment of SARS. Did this change the way the police treated your protest?
You said I didn't get that.
early on Sunday afternoon, we saw the statement from the IG disbanding SARS.
Yes.
Did that change the way the police treated your protest?
No. In fact, to point to the irony of that, an Arise TV cameraman walked out of the IG's announcement and came to where protesters were. He had his head broken. So this is simple. That look, they are not listening to him. He has lost control of his men, and this is not working. You cannot, and I've said this before, that if the IG says that they should end SARS, it means he agrees with the protest, right? It means that he hears people and he says what people are protesting for, we are obeying what you are saying. If the IG is obeying what we are saying, why are his men still attacking protesters? Why are 2 people dead, or is it 4 in Lagos today? Why were 8 people killed yesterday? This is, like I said, this is not working. What they are paying us is lip service, and young people will not stand for it. And this is to speak to the older generation who has told us, oh, they are vendor SARS, won't you go inside? This is what you do every time. Over how many years of docility, you are not tired. And a new generation of people are saying they are not going to take this. And you are gaslighting us, telling us that they have said they have ended SARS and it is okay. So for every older person listening now, no, we are not going to do what you people did. We are going to make exact demands and will not go inside till what we have requested has been done. And I hope that if you did not learn from your generation, that you would learn from younger people, that look, when you say you want a better country, you stick to it. You don't sell yourself out. You don't stay home and pray helplessly. You actually come out and do something about it. And perhaps when they are tired of staying indoors, they will accept that their methods have failed and the new generation has showed up for leadership. And for once, they will follow.
All right, Indicato. Thank you so much for talking to us on Hard Facts.
Thank you so much for having me, Sandra.
Okay. With Lagos, you've heard from Indicato. Now I'd like to hear from you. Right? 0700-993-993-993. Give us a call. Tell us what you think about the way the police handles these protests. What do you think about the protesters' demands? Do you think they should stand down now that the president has spoken? Or do you think that they should wait to see a tangible change in the situation? Before the show is over, I'm going to go over again what the protesters are demanding before they go back inside, like Ndikato has said. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
Am I on to Sandra?
Yes, you're talking to Sandra.
Yeah, my name is Emeka. I've been in traffic. I had to run out of the office by 2. Immediately, I got wind of what was happening in Surulere. And I've been in traffic since. So I left the office by 1. I'm still in the traffic till now.
Okay.
Sandra, in a sinner society, what is the IG of police still doing on his seat? In a sinner society, we all watch CNN, we watch BBC, we see how human beings react. He lost control of his men now. Even SARS, he lost control of them. We are blaming the junior ones. What of the senior ones, the DPOs, the area commanders? Don't they know what is happening? He lost control of his men. What's he still doing on that seat? It's very painful to hear that someone has lost his life. How long are we continuing to continue this mediocrity everywhere, in all aspects of our life? Is there anything moving in Nigeria? I've been in traffic now for 3 hours. So hot, the outside AC is not even cooling the car again. How long will we continue living life like animals in this society? What is the IG? We are blaming the junior ones that go on the street that collect money. I see them on Agopala Road, Okota, white Sienna, picking up people on numbered car. How will you be operating with unnumbered car in a society that is sane? Policemen, not on uniform. Anybody they see on the road, they pick. Unnumbered. You can't report. You cannot report it because the car does not have number. And this thing has been going on. The DPO, don't they know what is going on? The area commanders, don't they know what is going on? How can a society be run like this now, for Christ's sake? It's a very painful situation we are. Anybody can carry a gun on the road and claim SARS and be obtaining. Anybody, so far you are rugged, you have chest, you have muzzle, just carry a gun, wear uniform and call yourself SARS, and you start obtaining Nigerians. Is that how we are supposed to live? My dear, our leaders have failed us. We have a set of very incompetent leaders from A to Z. Our leaders have failed us. Our leadership selection is bad. Our leadership selection is bad. We don't select people based on merit. We just select based on where you come from. Then when you enter there, you do whatever you like. My dear, it's a very disheartening situation. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much. Sorry about the time you're having in traffic.
Hello.
People will say, well, they're trying to make things uncomfortable.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name?
My name is Mr. Tawa. I'm calling from Surulere.
Good to have you on the show.
Sandra,
are you safe? Are you a part of the protest? Are you in your car?
No, I'm not part of the protest. I'm inside my car. I've been in the traffic for the past 4 hours now. But
what do you think about the protest?
Around this Shita. I want to tell you what I noticed around my area here.
Okay, go ahead.
I saw the car of the, what do they call them, the task force. The task force car has been smashed, and the Black Maria, immediately the roundabout after Shita in Surulere. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Yes, I saw the task force car.
Okay.
And their Black Maria has been smashed. But it wasn't burned, it has been smashed. I'm sure maybe they ran for their life there. So what we want now is, please, let the president talk again. Or the governor of the state, governor of Lagos State should please talk. Let them talk, because everywhere
the governor went to meet the protesters at Lekki. He went to meet the protesters.
But the one is true there. Somebody said we heard somebody was shot there.
Really. I think they chased
we heard somebody was shot there in Surulere. That's what we're saying. Everywhere is broken. I've been coming from Lagos Island now. I'm stuck around that roundabout Shita now. When I saw the car smashed and the task force car smashed and the Black Maria, I have to enter and park my car somewhere. Maybe I want to use my leg to continue my journey now. The tension is so high. Please, we beg.
But what do you think about the protest?
Yeah, when we think about the protest, we should think we, the older ones, we've taken things so granted. I mean, we are the cause of all this, because we've allowed the government to take total mess of us. Because anybody that is above 50 now, I should think we should be blaming ourselves. We should be blaming ourselves now. What the youth are doing, if we have been doing all this, Nigeria won't have been like this. Because I could still remember the 70s, 80s when we finished school. There are chances for us to go to abroad. Nobody wants to go then. Nobody wants to travel then. Look at what is happening now. I'm so ashamed of our so-called elders. Our elders in this country, we the elders. I mean, it's so bad. Well, we pray the people in authority should think, if they don't want this country to turn to some other thing, they have ruled we the father, but they can't do that to our children. This is what the boys and the girls are taking now. That you can't continue. You've treated our daddy and mommy so badly, you can't continue to treat us like that. Goodbye, Sandra. I want to start working off so I can quickly get home.
Right.
Bye.
All the best. Take it easy, yeah? Okay. 99.3. Sorry about that. If you're watching, showing you footage of Lekki toll gate as of this morning.
Sandra.
Quite the crowded place. They were not letting police pass.
Hello.
They didn't want to talk to the governor or to the ACP. Hello, sir. Thanks for calling. Hello. I can hear you. Thanks for calling. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hello. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sandra. My name is Idris Reknas.
Idris, welcome. Where are you, Idris?
Yeah, I'm not part of the protest. I'm not in any hold-up. I'm around Marina. I'm heading back home, and I just called to make a comment.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, you see, what is happening is quite unfortunate, and then we have to find out what is really going on in this country. And I think two factors are responsible for all this. One, the system is corrupt, or if I may use another word, the system is manipulated, and the environment is polluted. What do I mean by that? I'm not lecturing, but let me just say it brief. That you see, these policemen and then the SARS that they just dissolved, they are like us. They are from us, and we are them too. You see, when you talk of the system is corrupt or is manipulated, it is because, you see, they have been given target. Every policeman that you see, from a division, from a unit, whatever, they have been given target. So when they go, they make sure they actualize, they meet up with the target. One. Two, You see that they are from us, like I said. It's about the environment. You see, the society are demanding from them too. We are their relatives. We are also demanding from them. We compare them with people working in FIRS. We compare them with people working in road safety. We compare them, so there is this comparativeness of a thing, whereby you see that we from them, we are also telling them, see what so-so person is doing. He built house, he built this, he built that, and this and that. And again, when it comes to their own postings, and you see that is why they handle recklessness. When you look at the marksmanship principle, you look how they handle weapon handling, it's quite unfortunate. You will be imagining why is this, whether this one is trained or not. And again, Sandra, let me tell you this. You see that from the beginning we have missed it. We have lost it in the sense that if a recruitment is about to commence, there is what we call pre-batting and post-batting. Pre-batting is whereby you equip a new recruit with all the accoutrement, the accessories required, be it, educational, be it food drill, and what have you. And post-batting is to ascertain the level with which the officer or those newly recruited people have been carrying out their activities. We don't do that in our security settings. We don't do that in the police. So what do you expect? In fact, not to talk much, if we are not ready to change and we are not ready to tell ourselves the truth, and we should not be attaching emotional, sentiment or whatever to whatever submission, comment, and recommendations we are making in this program. We should be realistic, we should be direct to the point, and we should say it as it is. Thank you very much, Sandra. It is my pleasure talking to you by this time.
Thank you for calling. We appreciate it. And thank you to everybody who's watching on Facebook. Like I said, we're expecting to have the Minister for Youth and Sport on the show at 5 so that he can explain to us what exactly happened in the Womo show. People are dead. And when people die, Nigerians deserve answers. People have died as well in the protest today in Lagos. We're hoping that nobody else dies. We're hoping that the police can control themselves, because Nigerians do have a right to protest. If you are stuck in your car and you're complaining about the traffic, you have two choices. You can either play some more Nigeria info, or you can get down and join the protest if you think that you don't want SARS to be a thing anymore. But either way, I think everybody just needs to be civil. Everybody just needs to be patient. This is the same thing as an Owambe that blocks the road in Lagos on any other Saturday. But we're going to switch gears now. We've got guests in the studio who want to talk to you about a special drink. So don't go away. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili.
99.3 FM Nigeria Info. In the studio with me is a special guest, and we are going to be discussing something really very important. And this distinguished guest is the General Manager, Amber Drinks Limited. Her name is Lola Adedeji. Lola Adedeji, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.